happening, folks? So I'm pretty sure you know what kind of car this is. I'll save that for later. But this has an oil leak, one of a few, and I'm going to address the one of the major ones. Had a couple things I had to do with this. Put a power steering pressure hose on this 2001 Honda Accord, and I had did an oil change because she hasn't changed the oil in forever. See my high performance micro guard there. And it looked like after clearing everything off that the rear main seal is plausibly leaking, and of course the VTEC solenoid here is leaking. So I got a gasket set on the way, and I'm going to address this. And the car also has, you can see remnants of oil in the back down there. Hopefully it'll pick that up. You can look down there and see quite a bit of oil accumulation. So it's been dripping and making its way back on the frame and falling off. So they've got a pressure switch here. This is you see the clear liquid. That's some of my brake cleaner. I've sprayed around here. I've used like 3 cans on this car. It was pretty nasty. And I'm reaching up to remove solenoid connector. Ouch. Damn, that's hot. Alright. The connector does reside on a bracket, so no big deal. So I got the VTEC connector removed, and I got the pressure switch removed. I'm going to use my 12. Hopefully I can use a 1/2-inch drive to try this again. I was severely inconvenienced in life with that 1/2-inch drive. Damn. Maybe if I would have made the noise Scotty Kilmer made, it would have come off a little easier. Alright, let's try this again. I should have got an oil pan, and you know what? I'm probably going to regret it. I'm going to regret it. I'm going to regret it. Hold on. I think we're good. Thought I had a light over here. I don't know how bright it is on this camera here, but we'll find out. Look at that. I was screwing up, man. So let me try this with the 1/2-inch drive, see what happens. Nope. Man, this oil is hot. Good gracious. I'm gonna have to get me a rag. Let's try this again. But absorb some of the heat, man, because that joker is like, it's not like normal operating temperature hot, but it's hot enough that I don't want to hold it. I'd say it's about 140 degrees. You know what, let's just do this. Because this don't care about temperature. There we go. So okay, we got sealant here. So this was I don't know if this can't be factory. This had to have been an attempt to repair this without buying the gaskets. She did say she had a lot of work done, and they allegedly were supposed to replace the gasket. And I don't think that this, you know what, I think the glue probably was there just to hold it in place. Who knows? I don't know. We'll take a better look at it. Yeah, it just looked like the glue was probably just on the side there, just to hold it. Could they have used glue to try to fix it, or because it feels thick? If you look from the side here, it is protruding. So I think they probably just used it to hold it in place, because honestly, if there was glue on here, it would be on the screen a little bit, and that's not the case. So this gasket, oh shit, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. This gasket has been replaced. I wonder if they just didn't replace the top one on the VTEC solenoid. So let's get this cleaned up and drained, and we'll take a better look at it. So we'll get a better look at it now. Yeah, I think they just simply just replaced the gasket, and they didn't fix it. But I got a whole new gasket set coming, so I'm gonna replace it again. And look inside the switch here, make sure there's no oil inside of there, because the switch can leak on the inside. Let's take a 10mm, get this off, and we'll take a look at the VTEC gasket. I'm pretty sure that's smashed. Don't laugh at me. I've never done this before, so I never had a reducer from a 1/2 inch, 3/4. I'm sorry, 3/8 to a 1/4. But it'll work for this. It'll work for this purpose. All right, there we go. Yep, the gasket is in fact smashed. It is really flat. Even from that, no big deal, because we get the brand new one. No big deal. Dry. So this device here just basically transfer oil from one port to another to allow the VTEC system to operate. This valve just basically opens and closes and allow fluid to go from one part to another. So like on the screen here, this is going to be the inlet. And I'm going to show you, I'm just going the opposite direction, but oil will travel through this port, come out through here, solenoid activates, push down on this plunger. If you look down here where the plunger and the spring is, it's currently closed, and when it opens, it'll allow oil to flow out to work the valves. So you can see that pretty good or not, but it's just a spring to keep it up, and a valve, just like in a valve body on a automatic transmission. Nothing special. Alright, get this gasket out of here. And yeah, they just use sealant and hold it in place. I don't think they had any intentions of putting that out to fix the vehicle. Take a 19. This is not a 19. It's 22. Let's knock that off. And we have an O-ring in here, which looks, it's questionable. I mean, but it's not leaking. Leave this on there and not have any problems. So I think we're fine leaving the O-ring on there. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have their own opinion about it. You could probably put Teflon tape around here or another O-ring. But I'm gonna see if I got another O-ring laying around. I'll put one in there. All right, my gasket set came in. I do have a O-ring that is slightly bigger, but once I tighten it down, it should relax inside of that groove where the O-ring should sit. So I'm gonna do that, clean that off. Everything dry up here. Have a little bit of oil on it. I'm not gonna, probably might not be a bad idea to put a little bit on there. There we go. It's made its way in there. because, so I got the gasket on there with no problem. Well, I can understand why I probably used the sealant to hold it in place, but ours seem to be working just fine. You can see how much it protrudes now. It's a little bit thicker than the old one. So put the new gasket on here, VTEC solenoid. See, it smashed the gasket down. Didn't get all the oil out. That's fine. Once I get it back in there, I'll hit it with some brake cleaner again. I literally went through like 5 cans of brake cleaner today. The oil filter will be fine. I just literally just replaced it. I didn't get any contaminants in there, so I think I'm sure we're in really good shape. Clean the maintenance surface off and get this back installed. Yeah, it's strange that they didn't get the VTEC solenoid gasket. You would imagine that would be the most common thing that'll be leaking. Even with the old Hondas, the VTEC gasket, like the housing gasket wouldn't leak. It'll mainly be the actual solenoid. Somebody probably been through this already. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they replaced the housing or what, but there's some fresh glue here. So she did say she had quite a bit of work done to, I guess they repaired the oil pump. So she must really have some bad leaks on here. Is that glue? No. Alright, I think we're cleaned up. So all the boats aren't the same size. You got 2 that are the same size and 1 that is longer. I mean, it's going to be obvious where they go. So you got 1, 2, the same size, and you got the longer one here. All right, everything's cleaned up. Try to get this housing back in there. So this is the long bolt. The facing it, the upper right. And you got the other 2 that are the same size. Finally found some gloves, but I got the store to give me a few of them. Man, my hands were dirty yesterday working on that motor. So we're going to the bottom right. I'm going to make sure it fits flush. I don't know why when I put seals on, I just think they're not sitting properly on the other end. Makes me nervous. Gonna snug them down. Hook everything back up. I think that joker came off. I forgot I am on the, okay, this is the bracket, literally. Alright, that is, the connector is what sits on the bracket, so that's why I got a little thrown off there. Alright, hit it with another dose of brake cleaner. I've never been through so many cans of brake cleaner on one car. I haven't even. Alright, we're good. Alright, I'm gonna start it up. We're gonna watch it run. And before it was dripping here and coming back onto the oil filter. Now we should be fine. I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes and we'll come back and take a look at it. So I got a brand new gasket here on that makes to the actual housing, to the oil pump, new VTEC gasket, and I changed the O-ring here on the oil sending, or oil pressure switch, sorry. Alright, we're gonna let it sit here and run for a while. Let's see what the temperature is. It's 115 degrees right now, and I'm gonna let it run, reach normal operating temperature, and we'll come back and check that little area here. Make sure that's not leaking anymore. Alright, back. We're at 175 degrees or so. Just wanted to prove that the car has legitimately been running for a while. I could have showed you the time, but I'm literally recording my phone. But look, there's no leaks coming from the VTEC solenoid. Even down here on the oil pressure sensor, also down below under the oil filter housing, everything's still dry there. So I think we're good, man. Cool, so we got everything knocked out. I would say this took about just an hour. We had to overestimate. It shouldn't take nowhere near that, honestly, because since I was filming. But everything was smooth. The gasket said it didn't cost more about $25 from O'Reilly's. Very simple, not including if you buy a brake cleaner. Now, this car does have quite a few oil leaks, and that smoke that you see coming in the back there is a result from large amounts of oil that had accumulated because of the power steering leak. Just got that on there. Unfortunately, I know this lady said she got a lot of stuff done to it before. I want to say about $1,300 worth of work, and you can tell that somebody been around the oil pan and the oil pump. You know, it has fresh glue on it. The rear main seal is leaking. I got some cardboard under there. I cleaned everything off in the housing and above the engine with brake cleaner, and it should have been evaporated, but unfortunately that's leaking, so it's going to need one of those. And I love Hondas, but unfortunately this engine transmission package was notorious for just having a plethora of problems. Not a huge fan of it, but I love the power the V6 had. Honestly, they should have put a timing chain on it, and if they did, this engine would have nearly been indestructible. Nearly. So, but hey, you know, what can you do about it? I'm pretty sure everybody got their opinion about these Accords, but you know, this is, like I said, I like them enough because they keep me in business, but I just don't like the fact they're unreliable. I wouldn't buy one of these packages, except for the newer ones. Anything after 2010 or so. But other than that, like I said, the replacement went smooth. Tomorrow I'll start back working on the Toyota, pulling the motor out, and once that's extracted, pull it down, make sure everything is in good shape, the bore, the valves, and get that knocked out. So, other than that, hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, have the reassurance of my work. See you next one.